I'm not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoes?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score! Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on!
Game on!
Welcome to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. For the first time, I am your host today, Nico Each.
Yeah, baby.
And with me, I have Joshua Amahi. How are you doing today?
How are you doing today?
I'm scared.
You're scared?
I'm scared. How are you?
Honestly, so let me tell everyone in the room a story of my first time hosting, right? Because for those that don't know, this is Nico Each's hosting debut, right? So, first thing I didn't do, we played the music, deleted it in, right? I turned the mics on. I'm like, welcome to WHPC Sports Talk. And then I hear nothing in my headphones. I'm like, oh, I didn't turn the music down. Yeah. But you got steps 1, 2, and 3 down already. Like, you'll do fine. You'll do fine. Like, we got plenty to talk about today, like the Yankees crashing and burning, the Giants winning, the Jets somehow winning and losing. Like, you got to get.
We got some good sports things to talk about today.
Got sports to talk about.
And also with me today, we have the resident Cowboys fan, unfortunately, Eric Williams. How are you today?
I'm still recovering from my sickness.
Yeah, your fake sickness.
Fake?
I mean, me personally, I would have shown up.
He said it again.
That's just me.
Why are you saying that?
I don't know.
Nah, but you know, today I'm not feeling too happy, and I should be because the Cowboys won yesterday. But
it's true. At least your team won.
It wasn't very impressive. I mean, it was impressive. Dak is back, but you know,
he had a rough game though.
Yeah, not as greatest game.
Yeah, not as greatest game, but you expect that coming off injury.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's right. Also with us today, we have Mr. 6-1, Ross Levine. How are you feeling?
I was exhausted watching that game. That game, I was a wreck after that game. I really was, because I was literally cursing at the TV.
Fair.
I was, because these referees are ridiculous. I really was. I was pissed off because every time we did something good, flag.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that Kayvon Thibodeau was held 3 times.
Oh, 3 times
on one drive. Not one call. And by the way, the last little bit I'm going to rant on the refs. One last thing. On the last play, when we stopped them at the 1, it was false start, and they didn't call it.
Yeah.
Can you give us a break?
I will say this. The refs tried really hard on that last Jaguars drive
they love Trevor
to extend the game.
Well, I'm not the only one preying on the downfall of the 6-1 Giants.
Oh, so you're coming right out Front Street with
Listen, the NFL's scripted, okay? There's no way the Green Bay Packers lose to the Washington Commanders.
Your Green Bay Packers are looking
garbage.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
I don't. Honestly, I do know what the problem is.
I think I know the problem too.
We all do.
Yeah,
we all do. You can talk about Aaron Rodgers. He's a star quarterback. You can talk about the defense not being like top 3 like we thought it would be. It's still top 10 in a lot of areas, but that's not what we expected out of this unit.
Yeah.
Your favorite? It's the coaching.
Your favorite, Matt LaFleur.
I hate that man.
Your second favorite defensive coordinator, Joe Barry.
God awful.
Not great.
Also counting the days until Amari Rodgers is cut from the team.
Hey, you want Greg Williams?
No.
My boy.
Greg Williams.
I don't want anybody. They should just
Who's better?
Disband the team at this point.
Who's been disband the team?
Disband the team. Just give the players out for free. I don't know.
Listen, 3 and 4 isn't good, but you got to take into account the NFC is still wide open for a lot of
That's fair, but Josh, we lost to the Giants, the Jets, and the Washington Commanders.
No. Do everyone a favor and call out the quarterbacks you lost to. Yeah.
Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, and Taylor Heineke.
The Heineke's the worst.
That's terrible.
It really is terrible. And it
dumbfounded.
They don't
Beside
have.
yourself.
They don't have any. They just have no weapons to pack. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? They have two weapons that they're just not using.
They're not number one receivers though. Lazard is not number one. He's not.
No, well, I'm referring to Jones and Dillon.
Oh, yeah.
You run the ball only 12 times with those two great running backs.
Yeah, I know. It's bad coaching. I know.
It's ridiculous.
No, because Matt LaFleur wants to bend over for Aaron Rodgers when he says, I need more passing in this offense. Like, I need more pass plays. Well, you don't have to do it. You're still the head coach.
He has an injured thumb on his throwing hand. Run the ball.
Maybe. Clearly, Aaron Rodgers with the Devontae Adams situation and everything else, he runs that franchise. So
maybe
ridiculous.
Whatever he says is Bible up there in Green Bay.
Maybe Matt LaFleur's a yes man. Maybe he just one of those tap on the back for Rodgers. I don't know.
He's a people pleaser.
Yeah, of course. Rodgers wanted his own coach. He got LaFleur. That's what it is.
Yep.
You know.
Well, before we continue the football talk, why don't we head over to the Bronx and talk about the New York Yankees, the New York Chokers. They got swept by the Houston Astros. Give me Houston. We want Houston. Look what happened. Aaron Judge went 1 for 16.
Oh, wow.
How does that happen?
Hold on.
It doesn't. I'm just going to say this because I'm going to rant on the fans here because they wanted it to be the toughest way possible. They wanted Houston. They didn't want the Mariners.
Yep.
They wanted Houston.
For pride.
It's like that meme, like, stop giving me your toughest battles. Like,
yeah, like
no, you want to Houston. So
you want to. The goal is to get to the easiest path to the world, not the hardest. And they asked for it. They got it.
But honestly, if you're a competitor, right? And this is not just for the players, but for the fans. Like, you want to beat the best. The Yankees started off the season, like, hot. They were the best team for, like, April, mid-May. But the Astros, we knew towards September, October, were the best team in the American League. Now, as a competitor, you want to say, we want to beat that team, not just that team that's been great this year, but the team that beat us in 2019, that beat us in 2017 when they went on to win the World Series. Like, as a competitor, shouldn't you want that from your, like...
Well...
players at least.
No, look, as players, I don't have a problem with them saying, I want Houston. It's the fans that I have more of the issue with because as a fan, like, you want to play the easier teams because you have a better chance of winning. If you're a player and you're a front office, because let's be real, Brian Cashman's never going to give Houston any credit. Maybe not, probably never. And because
Brian Cashman, that's another guy.
What a joke.
That's another guy.
He's a joke too.
He doesn't give them any credit. Even in 2019, he always thought there was something fishy, and it was, and you saw in 2022, it wasn't a cheat. Houston was just better. Yep. I mean, like we said this. I'm going to use this as similar than kind of with the Yankees. So we watched the New York Mets and the Padres, right? In the wild card game, Joe Musgrove had the whole ear thing.
Yep.
And then, everybody was like, oh, it's a shiny ear. And, Gary Cohen was saying after the game, oh, well, maybe you better be right. Well, Brian Cashman, you better be right. And you were wrong because the Astros did not cheat. They are, a better team than you. They swept you in every facet of the game. They were better in every aspect of the game. They not only hit better than you, they pitched better than you. And also another thing, too, is Aaron Boone's bullpen management, disgustingly bad. It was awful because not only Game 3, you need to win Game 3. Nobody comes back from 3-0 deficits. It's very tough to do. And instead of using his high leverage guys in Game 3, he uses in Game 4 when it's too late. And it was too late.
Aaron Boone looks crazy, but also you brought up Brian Cashman. Ross, you remember before the start of the season, Brian Cashman was facing a lot of heat because the Yankees weren't giving all this money to Judge straight up. They weren't going after some of the higher quality free agents like Carlos Correa, for example. And Brian Cashman sits up there and says, to kind of like get the heat off his own back, the only thing that stopped the 2017 Yankees was something so illegal and horrific. Talking about the Astros.
Yeah.
So you can't say that and then 4 or 5 years later have a chance to beat that team, not go all in with the money you could have spent, not go all in at the trade deadline. Yeah, Harrison Bader, your guy Nico, had 5 home runs.
Master Bader.
Yeah, 5 jacks.
What
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good, right?
Playoff MVP for the Yankees.
And it wasn't Aaron Judge that had all those home runs. It was Harrison Bader.
Right.
That's right.
But that's a good acquisition, but you weren't all in with this roster. I don't care what you say. You can't tell me looking at this roster, top to bottom, that they went all in with it.
No,
you can't.
they did. And look, the one thing I'll try to defend here, but again, it didn't work because they got hurt. Benintendi, they brought him in. He got hurt. What are you going to do, right? Now, he was a rental, so if you want to blame him for that, that's fine because there's a good chance he may be on another team and he didn't play that much for you. So I guess you could put some blame there. But, LeMahieu wasn't there. Again, I'm not Michael Kay. I'm not going to make excuses like Michael Kay does.
Company man.
Yeah, like Michael Kay, Aaron Boone. I'm not going to make excuses about the roof and stuff like that. No,
I wish you were there on Friday, Ross, when we talked about it. That is the lame. That I've heard a lot of lame ass excuses from athletes over the years. That after that loss the way it happened against this team that you like you said they claimed they wanted. You're going to cry about the roof being open? Yeah. Really, that's where we stoop down to for the New York Yankees. 27 World Championships, one of the highest payrolls in baseball. Not the highest, because they've kind of changed philosophy, but we've come down to complaining about the roof. The roof?
I mean,
really.
Josh, it played a part, man.
Just the wind, I hit it to the wrong part of the park, and Bregman's home run, I hit it harder than that. Like, man, they show me. That's when I knew. I didn't come outright and say it on Friday, but I knew they were going to get swept after I heard that crap. I knew it.
That's right.
It was obvious.
Yeah, because they're down. They're down. They have no confidence in themselves, and when you don't have confidence, it's over. It just is. And you can tell that. And I honestly, I understand Boone's trying to back his players here, but at the same time, get real. I mean, get real. You're not hitting because you're not hitting. I mean, that's why you lost this series for the most part. I mean, yesterday you could say maybe not, but they lost the first 3 games because they didn't hit. That's what it came down to. You lose 3-2 in Game 2. You lose 4-2 in Game 1. You lose 5-0 in Game 3. And by the way, that was a 2-0 game. Garrett Cole goes back out there for the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Still had decent stuff. Again, it's Monday morning quarterback, but you should have let them in the game. That's my opinion. I know he had the bases loaded there, but that is your best pitcher. He's your ace pitcher. You're paying him that money. That's what you're doing. I mean, it's not my money. They're paying him that money. You give him that opportunity. Let him. Even if he gives up a run, okay, he gives up a run, but you gotta give him that chance. And he didn't do it. And 3 runs came in, and that was the baseball game, essentially. And you can basically look at yesterday as like the perfect ending to this series because they're winning 5-4, and the lousy Yankees defense comes alive because not only that the pitcher doesn't get off the mound quick enough, even though you want to say it was bang bang, it should never have been that close. And then Gleyber Torres and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa decide to go back to their normal defensive days, and they throw it away. And again, Loaisiga didn't get out of it. It's on him too. It's everybody deserves blame. That's my point.
So 2 things. This is why I laugh at Brian Cashman, because you brought up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who he played okay this series at the plate.
He wasn't terrible,
but
he wasn't bad.
The main defense for Yankee apologists like Michael Kay was like, oh, the defense. He's a stud defensively. Well, number one, you played him out of position all season long. His best position is third base. You played him at shortstop all season long. That's where he struggled. Then, and it's just you have 162 games of sample size. Now I know with the Phillies being in the damn World Series, I don't know how much 162 games means anymore.
You could be the worst defensive team. You could change the manager and then everything. That's it. I mean, the Mets might as well just fire Buck Showalter and then they'll hire another old school guy.
I mean they'll win the World Series after that.
That's true.
Yeah. Given Buck Showalter's history, for real.
That's true.
And then you brought up the final out of the game, right? Aaron Judge. I thought Aaron Judge had one of the greatest regular seasons I've ever seen in my life.
He absolutely
He
did.
threatened for the Triple Crown, 62 home runs. We all talk about it. Over 130 RBIs. Well, let's look at the playoff totals as a whole. 139 average in 9 games, 36 at bats. 490 OPS. His OPS was over the moon in the regular season, but it's okay. It's okay. You bounce back. It's your rival. It's the Houston Astros. What you got, Aaron? What you got? Well, he got an 0.63 average and a 180 OPS in the biggest series of the year. Now, I wonder how much money, because Aaron Judge, we talked about it all season long. He bet on himself to start the year. Throughout the year, he was just cashing in more and more money. And now, if you look at his playoff totals, how much money did he give back?
How much do you think it changes?
I think from the Yankees' perspective, it's like that's going to be their apple card. Like, yeah, you had a great regular season, but
he loses all his leverage now.
I don't know about all of it.
Some of it.
Yeah, definitely some of it.
Yeah.
He's going to make money. He's still going to make his money. I don't know where it's going to come from, but he's going to make his money. I mean, look, I'm never going to rule out the Giants. The Giants could always be in on him. He's from there. I think the Mets should make a call, even make an offer, but that's me.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if he wasn't back, but I also, at the same time, when I listened to him, and even throughout the season I did this, I always felt like he was gone. When I hear him, he seems gone.
Remember the All-Star Game interview with Marley Rivera?
He seemed gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I don't know. That's me.
Whatever little boy they were talking about, Jacob will be all right. There's plenty of Yankee fans, Yankee players to cheer for if you're a fan. Like, that sounded like a guy that's,
Yeah, he's out of there.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Met.
I know he stunk it up in the postseason, but
he's going to be a Met and then stick it up in the postseason for the Mets.
Given the Mets history, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
We're a sad franchise.
Yeah.
We're sad boys out here.
We definitely went out sad as hell this year. Like, that was...
Sad is an understatement, Josh.
That's why I'm asking, like, what does 162 games mean anymore?
Oh, it does.
Just make it to the playoffs. That's really what it means.
Because
right
what pisses me off is the playoff seeding. I think it was the wild card 5 teams, and then you had the one wild card game. That was cool, but I would have just had a series between those 2 wild card teams, and then that winner goes on to, and then regular playoffs. I don't like having 6-7 teams in the playoffs. I think it just waters it down.
Well, you know what it is, too? You have teams like the Phillies. Yeah, those teams that don't deserve to make it, and then they make it. That's what happens.
And then they make it to the World Series, and then they're going to win, and then it's going to be this whole thing.
Yo, the Astros better... They better not let the Houston Astros... the Houston Astros better not let the Phillies win, because it happened in 2019 with the Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Braves won last year, and then
I don't feel good.
I can't see another division rival win a World Series. I can't.
Well,
I can't.
I mean, in theory, then the Mets should be next.
That's true.
In theory, it doesn't apply with the New York Mets.
They won't win a championship for the next 50 years, probably.
I can't. I can't believe you've been the most positive Mets fan.
I have.
And yet, even you are saying that this guy's going to fail. This guy's going to fail. We're not going to win again.
I held on to the very end, right? They sucked in September, but I'm like, let's see how we do in October. I was stupid, all right? I was stupid. I held on to the bitter I held on to the bitter end, and then look what they did. So I'm with y'all. It's like, you got to look at the writing on the wall at some point.
Well, if you get an Aaron Judge, I think the Mets will be fine.
That's what they need to do. It's like to bring Mets fans back to, like,
sanity.
So yeah, make a big splash.
Happiness.
Steve Cohen, like, do something. I whether it's bringing back Jacob deGrom, Edwin Diaz, Brandon Nimmo, or just bringing Aaron Judge, you gotta do something.
Why? By the way, in terms of just the whole Nimmo thing, like, why should that stop them from getting Aaron Judge? Like, I know the Mets want him back, but, like, that should not stop them from getting Judge. I mean, Nimmo's nice, but, like, Judge.
Yeah, I'd rather Judge. I mean, I love Brandon Nimmo, but I really would rather.
Yeah, I would love. I don't know how possible it is, but I would love a Nimmo, Marte, Judge outfield.
Oh wow,
come on now! Good. Now we're talking.
Yeah,
that's the kind of splash you need after you win 101 games and go home in the wild card round.
Went out sad
to a team that also went out sad to the 3rd best team in the division.
Yeah, but they also beat the Dodgers.
Man, I can't the Phillies like that.
I can't get.
Are they them?
They have the pitching.
They do.
And they have a
Bryce
great
Harper,
player in Bryce Harper, so
I hate that man so much.
I don't like Zach Wheeler.
I don't think any Mets fan really.
I don't like Wheeler. I don't like Syndergaard.
That's fair.
That's the sickening part for me. Like Noah Syndergaard is really in the World Series, bro.
But let me answer this question though.
Philadelphia is going to get a chance to get a championship. That city will never hear the end of it.
Let me tell you something. If Syndergaard was a Met, you think the Mets actually go to the World Series this year if Syndergaard was on the Mets? I don't. I'm sorry, they don't. Like if they got Syndergaard and Robinson, they do not.
Yeah,
maybe. But I'll say this: if Syndergaard pitched instead of Max Scherzer, I think he would have pitched better than Scherzer in that game one. I think he would have pitched better, but I don't think they would have made it to the World Series if Syndergaard was on the team. I think maybe like a 20% chance they go.
Noah Syndergaard, like that's another reason I can't have the Phillies win. I don't like seeing bitch-made people prosper.
Yeah, but it's not
like I can't.
I felt that on a whole different level.
Listen. Like I got to root for your downfall. If you're ducking the Mets every chance you get, I don't want to see you prosper. You don't deserve to.
Yeah, but I'm gonna root against him too. But I don't blame the Mets for letting him go. I mean, he went to the Angels. I mean, so he went to a World Series team. It's not like Syndergaard's like been like the main impact on them winning. Like
no, not at all. But I'm just saying.
Okay, so
he's just another guy. But it's Noah Syndergaard that.
It's the
makes
name.
it annoying.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the name. It's not. He hasn't done much. It's easy to pitch when your offense is consistently scoring 8-9 runs. It's pretty easy. I'm sorry, the Mets are not doing that.
Right.
So it's different.
The Mets.
Oh, the Mets. Well, we have our World Series matchup, fellas. What are your predictions? Houston Astros versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Josh, let's start with you.
All I'm going to say is the Astros better get it done. I'm not going to give you a game prediction.
You're not going to give me a game
No,
prediction?
the Astros better get it done or else sadness.
You will not root for the Mets again.
I was going to say like a threat, but like I'll just be sad. I'm not going to do nothing. I'll just be
I was waiting for you to say I'm not going to root for the Mets again. I was waiting for it. I'm still waiting for that day.
I'm not there yet, but the way they're going,
I mean, if
the
they
way
don't bring back DeGrom, Diaz...
Listen, guys,
it's over.
2006 to 2008 was bad, right? Each season you lose on a final pitch.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Mets were the first sports team I ever cried over. Like, 2007, I wanted to throw up. Tom Glavine, get out of here. 2008, the final game at Shea Stadium, you lose. I thought that was bad. It's not as bad as winning 101 games, and then going out sad in the wild card round.
Yeah, but
so I'm right on the edge, bro.
I'm
right there.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because we've seen so much failure, and it's also like I say all the time, just change the uniform. Just change it. Because like every person that wears the Mets uniform, it doesn't go well unless you're like named DeGrom or maybe name another player. But other than that, it doesn't work.
Interesting.
It's fair.
Yeah. I mean, something doesn't work. I don't know.
So Ross, what's your prediction for the World Series?
I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'm going to say Astros win in 6.
Okay.
I think Astros find a way. I don't know why I feel this way, but I do.
Better.
Eric?
Astros in 5.
All right. I guess I'm the only one going Phillies then.
Damn it. I don't blame you.
This man said, Nico, you have this thing where you're like,
listen, man.
You say a hot take, and I respect your sports knowledge, so I'm not going to say, you're just grasping for straws, but Padres, Phillies, NLCS from the start of the playoffs, really? Like, you called that. Like, no, that's not regular. It's not.
And I said Phillies in 5. That's crazy.
Yeah, you might as well just stick with it now.
Yeah, no, so I'll go Phillies in 6.
Phillies in 6, huh?
Phillies in 6, baby. Bryce Harper revenge tour.
Yeah.
All right. Let's kick it off to some New York football. How about them Giants, Ross?
Yeah.
How they doing?
6-1. Come on, I know you're hyped. I just know you're like got so much excitement in you right now.
I'm not changing my expectations so and they're still
6-1.
winning.
You know,
winning,
I get
it's
what he's
working.
saying.
Yeah.
Because you barely beat the Jaguars.
Okay.
You did come back, but
yeah.
Whoa.
Jacksonville's not terrible. They're better than their
Jacksonville should have won that game.
They should have.
There were some
Of
poor
course.
choices made and some unfortunate mishaps, but
They barely beat any team.
the Giants?
They've only won every game that
agree.
they've won.
That's a good point.
They've only won within one possession.
Facts.
I mean, I will say though, to be fair, we don't have the most talent. We don't. that's what's crazy about.
Yeah, you just got a damn good coach. That's the difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's really like the storyline of the NFL this year, though.
Yeah, coaching matters.
Coaching matters like crazy right now.
I know, like, me personally, for the Saints, they're 2-5. And I know we've had injuries, but then you can't be 2-5.
I know. He's bad.
Dennis Allen got to go.
Yeah.
Already. 7 games in. He got to hightail out of here. But, yeah, Brian Dable is him. Robert Saleh. I know the Jets, we'll get to them later, dealing with some injuries, but he might be him.
Nick Sirianni in Philly.
Yeah, like that. Coaching does matter, and we've seen it. It used to be viewed as, I think, as a quarterback league.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady 3-4. Aaron Rodgers, Nico, is 3-4. Justin Herbert is what? 4-4?
Well, his coach isn't good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Coaching really matters, especially this year.
I mean, you put Dable on like coaching any of those 3 teams.
Oh, yeah.
It's a completely different story.
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a great coach. Like, we doubted him because is it Russell Wilson or is it Pete Carroll?
It's Pete Carroll.
It's clearly Pete Carroll. He has the Seahawks at 4-3 atop the NFC West in 7 weeks.
They're going to win that division.
They might.
I think the 49ers still got a shot, but the fact that the
49ers are cooked. They sold us dreams.
That was bad again.
Listen, I said in the chat yesterday, like, aren't the San Francisco 49ers the NFC favorites? And then Patrick Mahomes did.
Not inevitable.
This is the Chiefs.
No, definitely not.
This is the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. You know what he can do. He's the Steph Curry of this league.
Yeah, but I think we all expected more from the 49ers once they got CMC.
Of course you did.
You can't give 45 points.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw in the Super Bowl a few years ago, Chiefs and 49ers. Like, the 49ers have a great team, but if your quarterback is Jimmy G and it's Patrick Mahomes on the other side, then...
Patrick Mahomes, he's inevitable.
He's inevitable. I don't know what I was smoking yesterday saying Jimmy G was inevitable. I don't know what I was on, but...
You okay, Eric? You okay?
Patrick Mahomes is just...
He's just great.
He's him.
I'm really thinking about it now.
Mahims.
I'm so sad that we could have had him. Ben McAdoo wanted him. I'm so sad.
Wow,
That's rough.
Ben McAdoo actually did something right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the one thing he wanted, and I agreed with him there.
You know, back to Eric's point about the Giants winning by one possession every game. So I did the math. I did some quick math earlier today. So they have 6 wins, right?
Yeah.
By a combined 27 points. That's 4.5 average margin of victory.
Yeah, I know.
They're just barely getting out of this game.
How sustainable is that? Like, I know Giants fans are over the moon. Most of them. Like some people we know, Freudian slip. Some people we know,
Nico.
Corey.
Don't call.
We're barely
not picking up.
Yeah, he's not going to pick up. Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
We're you know what we're doing? We're playing some good teams, so that's part of it, a little bit. And I think also we're not throwing the ball a lot. Usually, we're running the ball. Like we're going to win ugly. That's us. We're not. And I agree, it's not sustainable. But the one thing I'm always going to count on is that we're always going to make second half adjustments. That's part of it too. We're down usually at halftime.
That's right.
So
you're a really good second half team.
Yeah. Like look at our fourth quarter numbers. We're like a +30 differential. So that's the game usually, and we're usually the better team at that point. And I guess the other teams are surprised by us, but either way, it's working for us. I mean,
that's right. No, it's a really good start for the Giants this year. Hopefully, they'll lose every other game this season.
Wow, you a hater. That's crazy.
I don't want to see Corey happy. I really don't.
Damn.
They'll definitely lose next week.
I agree.
Against the Seahawks?
Yeah, because that's going to be the real first test of adversity. And I think the Seahawks are more talented than the Giants.
Oh, they are.
And
offensively, yeah.
And then the game's in Seattle, too.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a quick question.
That's a big difference for Seattle.
Little hot question.
All right.
Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Geno Smith right now?
That's tough.
That's a great question.
I would still say Jones. And the reason why I still say that is because who has Geno played, by the way? I'm just saying.
Listen, he made some throws against,
good.
and I know the Saints aren't good, but he made some throws against us. I'm like, is this Geno Smith or Aaron Rodgers? Like, I didn't know what I was watching. He's made some damn good throws this year.
Yeah, but like, are the Saints' defense that good this year?
No, they've been hurt and banged up.
Even though he's still making some incredible
like
throws.
tight coverage, tight windows, just over the top to Metcalf.
Right back.
I don't know. I'm surprised saying Daniel Jones. I'm surprised myself because I always thought that they were going to move on from him. Mm-hmm. But look, Geno Smith, I'm surprised how he's playing. I'm really surprised.
I think the whole league is.
The whole league is surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, what teams have they played this year? Like, what defense have they played?
I'll pull up their schedule.
Because if they haven't played anybody great, I don't know. To me, I'm not saying I'm surprised, but Pete Carroll's also a good coach.
That first week they played the Broncos, and the Broncos defense is actually pretty good.
All right, so that's one.
We saw with Zach Wilson yesterday. Like, he didn't know what to do against him.
Oh, Zach Wilson is also
that's not great.
Quite scary right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
We'll ask some questions about him.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to learn a lot about this Jets team without Breece Hall.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season, to be honest.
That's a
tough
one.
blow. I'd honestly, I don't know, because the Jets defense is really good, so I wouldn't be surprised if they win a couple more games. But
I would
say 3 or 4 max.
They should have gotten McCaffrey, the Jets.
You really think so?
Really?
You really think so? I was wondering about that today. Like, I literally wrote down on my notes, like, I wonder if this Breece Hall injury would have happened last week, would the Jets have been in on McCaffrey? I said no, but
I don't think you can. I don't think you can go after McCaffrey.
No, I don't.
Because then we also have to think about, Breece Hall. How is he going to feel about that? Because CMC, he is a franchise running back.
Yeah, and that's a win now move too. The Jets are 5-2, so obviously now naturally you got to start thinking about playoffs and like. I know it's the Chiefs and Bills and everybody else. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they made the second round of the playoffs.
But you see, now I'm concerned they even make the playoffs because Tua's back in Miami.
That's true.
That, and by the way, Tua yesterday, the Steelers dropped like 5 interceptions.
Right. Yeah.
And what was Tua doing coming back from that concussion and going headfirst in 2 separate?
He doesn't care about his life.
He clearly doesn't. He clearly doesn't.
Football is that man's life.
But
That's
Eric,
scary,
I'm
man.
like, yo, you can like slide, bro. Like it's not against the rules to slide. You don't got to go head first into tacklers.
He's tough.
Is he? Is he? We saw two hits that proved that he isn't.
He's too tough for his own good, I think. Football is his life. I mean, clearly with last night.
You know who the Jets should maybe look to target? This Chase Claypool. That would be a guy I would look to. Steelers are going to sell, so I think that's a good one.
Well.
Jets
if we're looking at what the Jets should get right now, it would be a running back.
A running
back, because with the Elijah Moore thing, they already have too many mouths to feed already. So
that's true.
But I don't know what
Elijah Moore could be a trade piece too.
Yeah, with the way he's acting.
Yeah, that's tough because I think the only way, because you had players like being passive aggressive on Twitter, calling them like conceited, and we're all about the team, not one person. They were really throwing shots at him all week. So I don't know what Elijah Moore has to do to get back in good with that locker room. So if he can't like rectify that situation, then Nico's right. Like you got to look to if we really need a running back. Like say
there's some good options out there.
Okay, so say the Saints, right? They play. Who do they play next week? Whoever they play, they fall to 2-6.
Ooh, I think I know where you're going with this.
And you're
Kamara?
like, Alvin Kamara. Why not? McCaffrey just got traded.
No.
Well, it depends on how much you would have to give up for him.
But Kamara, aren't you building around him though?
We were, but if we're gonna be a 2-6 team with no first round pick, then
you can't really build around a running back.
That's true.
We tried.
Yeah.
We're building around Kamara and Taysom Hill. Really, like it's only so much you can do with that. So. I don't know,
because Kamara, that's a long-term move. That's your run. That's your guy for like the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but you said it in the back though. You don't know if Breece Hall is ever going to be the same again.
That's true.
And Michael Carter
tears a rough injury.
Yeah, Michael Carter had his chance yesterday, but he didn't really perform that well. I think he had like 37 yards on 13 carries, something like that. It wasn't impressive when he got the chance to play. So
I say they can go get. Now, I know he didn't play good against us, but I'd say probably go get Cam Akers just to see what's there with him.
That's an interesting one.
Do we think he's cooked, though?
If it's Cam Akers, then it's Cam Akers for Elijah Moore straight up.
I don't know if I would do that.
You don't think so?
Because Elijah Moore he has talent. I don't.
Yeah.
But it's a weird situation.
But does he have talent?
Well, he has.
He has talent, but he's not. He's not taking advantage of his opportunities so far this season.
He hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't shown enough in the NFL to be, having the authority of saying I want the ball more and I need to be out there more. Like he has not earned that right. And when I heard about the whole thing, asking a trade, I'm not defending the player on this because
definitely not.
Because you know what? The team is winning. The best thing that they can do is run the football. And you know what? You're not getting open in time. So, you're a second-year player. You were a late first-round pick. Can you maybe? It's like I said this about Daniel Mims. Can you run a better route? I mean, instead of saying you want to be traded, I mean, like, I'm not for that. I'm not. To me, I'm glad that the Jets benched him. They did the right thing, and you know what? They won. I mean, it wasn't because of the offense, but they won. So, the Jets are gonna have to figure this out, and they don't have a choice now with Breece Hall's injury, but. They got maybe even look at the free agent market. I mean, there could be some guys out there that you could look at.
Marlon Mack, maybe.
It's not bad.
That's the best guy I can think of.
I don't think I can name any other free agent running backs.
I think it's gonna have to be a trade.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm looking at some names now. Jamal Williams from the Lions, maybe. Kareem Hunt's an interesting one because he did demand a trade at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson, but. Elijah Mitchell, James, like it's.
I think I'd be more interested in Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I mean,
because his skill set is similar to Breece Hall's.
Yeah,
like he could just fit right into that same scheme and be like, because don't the Commanders run a similar? I might be dead wrong on this.
Not really.
Not the San Francisco West Coast. No.
Well, when they had Mike Shanahan,
that's why I'm thinking of that.
Yeah,
probably not anymore.
They didn't. They don't do that stuff anymore. I mean, I think the Jets are going to get somebody from a Shanahan type of offense, whether that's the Niners or whoever runs it. But it's not going to be from a team. It may be a team that you don't even expect. It's not going to be in division. I'm just going to leave it at that. It will not be in division because you never see trades in division. So
no, never.
Yeah, so it won't happen there. Maybe it comes from like the NFC or something.
When's the trade deadline? Week 9?
I think so.
No, it's week 8, right? It's week 8.
One of those two. One of those two. Well, it's two questions for the Jets for me. Because Breece Hall, who was really carrying that offense,
he was that offense.
Yeah, the entire offense.
Yeah,
at the point that he went down, and then even yesterday, 4 carries, 72 yards.
Yeah,
yeah. Basically, won the game for the Jets with that opening touchdown.
He won the game.
Pretty much. And then not just that, but Elijah Vera Tucker, who's
that's even worse.
He is he might be the next Quentin Nelson, that type of offensive lineman. He's out for the season too. Robert Saleh just announced. So
it's really going to fall on the shoulders of Zach Wilson now.
Yeah.
He is. This is where he proves.
That's a fact.
If he's the future of the Jets.
And you look at his last 3 games.
Not good.
The Jets won all 3, right? So I know some people like to say, quarterback wins is the end-all, be-all.
Mm-hmm.
First off, it's not. Corey, I love you, but on Friday you were bugging a little bit. But no, quarterback wins because Zach Wilson went 3-0. But let me read these numbers off. 210 versus Miami, 99 rating. That's pretty good. Miami's a 21st ranked defense. Then you get to Green Bay. Impressive win in Lambeau Field, but 110 yards against the 8th ranked defense. And then you go to Denver yesterday. 121 yards against the 2nd ranked defense.
How many pass attempts did he have?
26.
26?
Yeah, he's had 21 to 26, 27 in each game.
So I can't even say the coach isn't putting trust in him. Because he's had the attempts.
I don't know if it's that or if they're really running that offense through Breece Hall.
They might just be doing that.
I think that's exactly
because it's the same.
You're playing your strong guys. That's what you're doing.
It's the same scheme that they're running in San Francisco. Like the LaFleur guy, I think it's Mike LaFleur.
Yeah, Mike
with the New York Jets. Yeah, it's the same scheme. It's like I'm watching a younger Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
And the Jets are trying to win that way, and they have been, but without that playmaking guy, because in San Francisco it's Deebo Samuel, and now it's Christian McCaffrey.
That's right. They got weapons.
You lose Breece Hall, who, like you said, was that entire offense. At 5-2, you have to start thinking playoffs. But can they still make it without Breece Hall?
I don't think they can.
No, I don't think.
I really don't think they can.
Unless Zach Wilson becomes like Superman, I don't think it's gonna happen. Unless again, they're gonna have to look to get an offensive lineman somehow now because of the Tucker injury. I mean, again, what trade options are really out there at this point? And he was really trading offensive linemen. And who's really a free agent out there that's an offensive lineman? There's not really much. You don't see it often. And usually when you do, there's something wrong. So it's very tricky to find good linemen. And Now they have their hands tied into their back because you lost Mekhi Becton before the season. You don't have Tucker now. George Fant's playing left, right. Dwayne Brown, okay. There's not a lot of depth now. And these guys get hurt. They have an injury history, so it's not like there's not much they can do on offense. They have to hope that Wilson becomes Patrick Mahomes, and that's
that is not going.
But I think one thing they can do to really help him, maybe go after OBJ.
That wouldn't be a bad move now.
You got to put all your chips in the middle of the table now.
Yeah, you got to take a flyer on him. That's true, but
I think he's gonna say no to the if he's gonna go back to New York.
Offer him enough money.
He's gonna want to be a Giant if he goes back to New York. Beckham, I feel like that's just me.
So last year, right, the Jets were using the same role Breece Hall was playing. To a lesser degree, they were using Braxton Berrios in that role. Now, they had some success with it. So can they just think, like, we can...
Jet sweep every 2-3 plays?
I mean,
it works.
It's a LaFleur, so they do stuff like that.
At least he runs the ball. Like, don't get me started.
You know what, with the Jets, and then I know we'll start going into your Packers again, because, like, damn. That's crazy.
What team? Green Bay?
Yeah.
That's not a team. I don't want to talk about.
That's an idea?
That's...
yeah, it's just you're right about that.
It's a bunch of traffic cones. One of them has 4 MVPs. I can't tell you which one.
the Jets though, because they're the top wild card team right now. Yeah. So I know it's early to think about playoffs, but here are the teams behind them that's chasing them. The Dolphins 4-3, the Chargers 4-3, the Bengals or Ravens, whoever loses that division, 4-3, the Colts 3-1. The Patriots are 3-3. The Raiders are 2-4. That's who the Saints play next week, by the way. I forgot. But do you like the Chargers, especially teams like the Chargers and the Dolphins and do we think the Jets without Breece Hall can hold those teams off?
No.
Not at all. Yeah. Not unless Zach Wilson proves why he was drafted. Like,
I got to look at their upcoming schedule because he's clearly shown like he shows more against like mid defenses, but you put him up against a top defense,
and they're playing New England next week.
And Bill Belichick has kind of owned him.
Yeah,
he's on already. A lot of rookies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, young quarterbacks don't get along well with Bill Belichick. So
no,
but
it's all on Zach Wilson. You're right though.
If they can beat the Patriots,
if they beat the Patriots.
If they're
you go all in if you beat the Patriots.
You have to.
I think
it's either you commit or you drop out now.
If they're even close to being New England, I would still try to go for it. If they're close, like even if they lost by like a touchdown, I would still consider.
Yeah, I mean, if Zach Wilson, the offense plays a good game.
Yeah,
honestly, this defense could carry them to the playoffs.
Oh,
if they can get 1 or 2 more pieces, Josh, this defense is a Super Bowl
champion.
We did
not even talk about the defense yet.
The defense is great.
I know they played some guy named Brett Ripien yesterday. He sounds like an accountant, but
well, let's be fair. Brett Ripien played a better game than Russell Wilson has probably all year.
That's actually very fair. But regardless of that, the Jets they're top 10 in defensive yards allowed and scoring defense, and they're getting better each week. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed at the cornerbacks. Like, you're waiting for Bryce Hall back. Like, that's going to be big.
I think he's done for the year.
Is he really?
He got hurt. I think he's done for the year, Bryce Hall. Yeah, not good.
Regardless, but DJ Reed's really stepped into that role. He's been a great acquisition.
Yeah, great move by Douglas.
You get Quincy and Quinnen, veterans like Mosley and Quan Alexander. Like, they have players up and down.
Dude.
Look, the Saints have a guy named Pete Werner who's got a linebacker. We can afford to let Quan go, but yeah, he's still he's a little older. He has an Achilles, but the Jets got players on defense. Like
that's a good defense, man. That's a Super Bowl defense.
It is.
1 or 2 more pieces, you're there.
It's so crazy to say because they're so damn young.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good defense for years.
I don't think the Jets are going to go for it though. Like buying trade deadline, they're not going to sell, but they're not going to go all out. So as you said, they're going to. I think they're going to stay pat. They're not going to be like I'm out. They're going to be the kind of like okay.
But so then, if you stay pat, what's a successful season then? What would you consider that?
I would
because now if you stay pat, you're probably not winning more than 3 games.
I think they're winning. Well, what was the expectation going in?
Ross, I said this is why it's such an interesting conversation because I said screw the wins. If Zach Wilson is good, that's a successful season. You can have 4 wins, and if he shows that he's that guy, then you had a good season.
Right.
But it's so weird now because they're 5-2, and he hasn't really shown you anything. So I have no idea what a successful season is for them.
Well,
He's 4-0.
He is 4-0.
Yeah, quarterback wins.
Oh my God.
Quarterback wins.
Yeah,
Zach
but
Wilson, top 5 quarterback in the league. Quarterback wins.
It's ridiculous.
Well, what are you gonna do? Get another quarterback? I mean, there's not much you can do.
I mean, depending on how he does for the rest of the season, maybe he's off the team next year.
I think he has this season and next.
Yeah.
I think it next, depending on how this one ends. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
because if he's putting up 121 yards and they start losing games, then
he's done.
we know how the New York media is going to turn on Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be pretty for him.
Yeah. I hope Zach's the guy because I think he's got a lot of talent, but I do worry a little bit about the accuracy. In terms of throwing it away, throwing it too high, that worries me a little bit. I think he's got the arm.
He's very lackadaisical.
Yeah, he's a little too dancing around a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
he acts like he's Patrick Mahomes.
Think about this.
well, he's similar in that sense, but
Think about this. You know the Jets really could have had Trevor Lawrence. He would have fit perfectly with this team.
maybe.
Man, Trevor Lawrence.
Yo, he has a lot of turnovers.
That's a good
though,
point,
too.
actually, Eric. I never thought about that.
Which game was it that they won one game towards the end of that season that
the
was just like
Rams.
They beat the Rams.
that's
I hate that.
and
You were so close.
I blame that, and then they beat the Browns, so it didn't matter. But
you know what's funny though, Eric, because I've heard some people, I'm not going to call it any names, but I've heard some people say, because like we said, quarterback wins, that they'd rather have Zach Wilson than Trevor Lawrence.
No, listen.
Oh, Josh, the second that was said, I lost faith in this studio.
all our guys know our stuff, but we have our moments.
He said that, and then someone else said Daniel Jones over Trevor Lawrence. It just doesn't make sense.
I think people really want Trevor Lawrence to be like mid.
Terrible.
Yeah. Not even mid.
They're preying on his downfall.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted Trevor Lawrence to be mid only because he beat us in the national championship. But
that's personal. That's fair.
Yeah. Aside from that, though, I want him to do good because he has potential. You can see the potential in him. He can be.
He's generational.
He can be an all-pro quarterback.
Definitely.
I still think he's gonna be a really good quarterback. I still think that. I do. I think he's gonna be great.
And his numbers don't look bad right now. 9-4.
They don't.
His problem.
If you give him a better line, that team, this record looks a lot different for the Jaguars.
The issue is turnovers with him. He just turns the ball over a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday.
No. No.
No.
Well, he should have had one pick, but no. Of course, the refs love to throw flags on us.
Yesterday the thing that really lost him that game was Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
Fumbled the ball right there in the end zone.
If he doesn't fumble that ball, the Jags win that game, without a doubt.
Yep.
Didn't the Giants go down and kick a field goal after that too? Or do I have it wrong?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you are right.
That's a 10-point swing at the end of the half.
Yeah,
that's where the game was won and lost right there.
Right.
That's rough. Doug Peterson, man. He made some interesting calls yesterday, buddy.
He's been good though, but yesterday he was tripping.
It was just, I got a little nervous maybe. I don't know, because he threw out some wild plays. Oh, New York football. Love to see our boys win. Speaking about them boys, Eric, how about your Cowboys yesterday? Dak Prescott's return.
You know, I should be more happy right now because Dak is back.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it didn't look too impressive. But, yes, this is a game where he's returning off a thumb injury on his throwing hand. So, okay, I'll give him some slack. Play against the Bears next week. I expect you to kill against the Bears. Really?
If he doesn't kill against the Bears, there's something wrong.
Yeah, but I don't expect Cooper Rush to come back in.
No, because you can see it now. Like the play calling changed. You had Zeke. I seen 2 plays. Zeke ran outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know he runs in between the tackles. If you run outside, why isn't Pollard in the game?
Right.
So the play calling has changed a little bit.
Do you think in favor of them or no?
No.
No.
No. But
you look depressed, man.
Well,
your team won.
And this is another thing. We just lost a good slot cornerback, Jordan Lewis, out for the season. So now, who you put in? Calvin Joseph, put Anthony Brown in the slot. Now it's more pressure on Anthony Brown. Now you have to play better.
Right. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. Are you The Cowboys lose next week. If Dak Prescott has a mid-game, is Cooper Rush coming in?
That's pretty hard for him to lose a game against the Bears.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably gonna win ugly if that's the case.
Yeah, if that's the case. But this Justin Fields can't do anything on this defense.
Mid-quarterback?
Yeah.
Are we done on the Justin Fields train? Are we giving up?
I mean, it might just be the coaches too, though, because he has a defensive coach, Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus used to be a linebackers coach for the Cowboys.
I give you so much props for saying that name correctly.
I could never.
Yeah, I would.
I only know how to say it because he was a coach of the Cowboys at one point. But
Eberflus, whatever you said.
Matt Eberflus. Yeah, but it's it. And then you had Matt Nagy. So I don't know. It may be a product of the coaching, but he hasn't shown anything anyway. Right. You expect the quarterback to show something,
right?
At least one game.
He looks dead.
He's his running ability is like it might be him and Lamar in the same tier.
Right.
Like that's unquestionably like that's where he's talented. Okay. But the passing game, listen, he could be a trash passing quarterback for all we know, but how do we know? Because the Bears haven't put that much around him. Like we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, that's true too. We don't have no help.
I wouldn't give up on Fields yet. I think he's got a little bit, but I think he's got a chance. He doesn't have a great situation. That's his problem, and it's not his fault. You know, he's in a bad spot. It happens to everyone.
He's just a quarterback with no weapons,
and that's sad because the Bears might give up on him.
But that's that's going to be great for another team that's going to pick him up.
It could.
That's true.
Josh, how would you feel about Justin Fields on the Saints?
I would love that.
Would you rather him or Trey Lance?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because we were talking about this yesterday.
We were. I would love Trey Lance too, but I'll take the guy not coming off an ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Justin Fields, like I said, running ability, like you can say what you want about Taysom Hill as a passer, but we seen what a guy with that's that physical, that dynamic, that elusive can do in that offense. And, we don't have a first-round pick. If we had a first-round pick and it was going to be top 5, even though, like, it's so funny with the NFC South. We're in last place, but at the end of the day, we're still one game out. So anything could happen from this point. But say, like, I don't really believe in them like that. So say the pick's supposed to be top 5. I would have said get a quarterback, but we don't have that.
Right.
Yeah.
From the Sean Payton trade that's inevitable to, like, the Chargers or somebody, I think we can get a first-round pick that way this year, but you're not going to get a franchise quarterback like with wherever the Chargers are going to finish, 25 to wherever. But
well, you know what?
I would take Justin Fields.
You guys have weapons.
We do. We had a little thing about Michael Thomas on Thursday, Nico.
Oh man, I hate quitters, Josh.
I can't stand. I can't stand a quitter, and he's quitting on his team right now.
No communication either, man.
Yeah,
What's the deal with that?
Things get tough, and he just bounces.
Wait, how did you not have a first round pick?
Oh, so Ross, let me take you back to the off season where we really needed a wide receiver and an offensive lineman. Okay. So the Saints were like, let's call up Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And be like, hey, so we'll give you our first round pick this year and next year for 2 picks this coming season. That's how we got Olave and Penning. But like, we expected Jameis Winston to be that guy.
Right.
Now, in hindsight, putting all your eggs in the Jameis Winston basket was really stupid. But that's where we are right now.
He's not eating any more W's.
So, Ross, the Eagles could very well have a Super Bowl appearance. Sorry, Eric. And they can have a top 5 pick at the same time.
Whoa.
No.
The Eagles, it could happen.
The Eagles
could happen.
A fraud team, Joshua.
I don't doubt that, but they're 6-0. It could happen.
That is exactly why I'm upset right now. I was watching First Take this morning, and I heard Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith say with straight faces that they'd rather take Jalen Hurts over Dak Prescott right now.
I would.
Well,
no, I would. I definitely would.
You know why I wouldn't?
I'll let y'all go at it.
You know why I wouldn't?
Why?
I'm going to tell you why right now. Dak Prescott has proven. He's proven himself in this league, right?
Okay.
Jalen Hurts hasn't proven himself. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. He has 6 touchdowns right now, passing touchdowns. Wow. If you put the ball in his hands to throw it and you contain him, I don't think he's showing that much of a difference to me to where he's an elite quarterback, better than Dak Prescott. He's not a better passer than him. I don't think so.
I will say this, like Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's 6-0. He's looked a lot better than he did last year. But we said it. The entire NFC East is playing a garbage schedule. And we saw last year in the playoff game versus Tampa Bay, who at that time, Tampa Bay was a really good team. The front 7 was crazy. Jalen Hurts had no running lanes, and they forced him to throw, and they lost 31-0. So I can't go there. I know the start is great this year. It's really working with AJ Brown, and you called it Nico earlier, Nick Sirianni, but I can't go there yet. I mean, Dak's thrown for 5,000 yards in the season before.
That's fair. I mean, but that
I can see why people say it though.
He's coming off of injury. Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback this season,
and you got to take into account the running ability. But I don't.
Yeah, but
like we've said, Dak Prescott, he's a game manager.
No.
Yeah, I get why Eric's concerned about that because we don't doubt the Cowboys' talent.
Right.
We don't really care about them regular season wins. Like, you obviously want to see them make the playoffs, but the main question is, like, what cost them last year, the coaching. Like, McCarthy and then Kellen Moore calling plays. Kellen Moore, I don't understand. He gets Dak in there, and it's like, we want to do all this fancy, 40 passes a game.
Switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. But you said it. They were winning games with Cooper Rush. Now, if you were playing the exact way you were with Cooper Rush, which you were Dak Prescott, this wouldn't even be a question. Like, Dak Prescott's the guy. But if you're really going to commit to, hey, Dak, you can go out there and do whatever. You can be in complete control of the offense. Mm-hmm. You can throw 40, 45 times a game. Like, that's not how they're going to win games. Yeah, so I get where the concern is.
I will say Dak Prescott, they've spoke on it, and they are now going to lean on the run game. You have these two running backs. They're going to lean on the running game, and they knew that. So, you go into these games, you lean on the run game, you take pressure off of Dak Prescott. Obviously, you've seen what he can do with a run game. He wins games. Now, if you put the ball in his hands and he's throwing the ball 45 times, then you're going to see, like, okay, there's flaws in his game. You see it.
Right.
But if there's the run game there, you're going to win games. But they changed it up to where, like, I don't get the play calling from yesterday. It was just like, it looks scary. Like, I was scared. Well, like, what's going to happen? We're going to lose the Lions?
It was in question for a lot of that game. Like, I didn't know once the fumble happened inside the 5, I was like, all right, the Cowboys got this. But before that, I was like,
Yeah, if they didn't fumble, it was looking bad.
Imagine the discourse we would be having about the Cowboys today if they lost that game. First game, Dak comes back. Like, a lot of it would be stupid, like Cooper Rush, but it would have still happened.
Would it have been stupid?
No, you know damn well. Cooper Rush.
He's won you games.
Yeah. Oh, so now you're the quarterback wins guy.
Listen, you play the safe hand, okay? You play the hot hand.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to be the quarterback to win you games.
Yeah, but you seen Cooper Rush got figured out in those last 2 games he played.
That's fair.
Whoever throws the ball 45, 50 times, you're not going to be that great. You're just not. And I said that even when Eli Manning played the position. Eli Manning throw the ball 50 times. I knew we were probably going to lose. I mean, that means 2 or 3 picks. I knew it. And that's with any quarterback. How many times do you see a guy throw 50 times and not get picked off once? You usually get picked off once, and not twice.
Aaron Rodgers before this year.
Oh my God! Don't say his name. He should not be named.
Mr. Ayahuasca.
Thank you. Mr. Ayahuasca needs to go retire. It's the Jordan Love trend now.
You should have been a Bronco.
Wow. Aaron Rodgers, future Saint?
Even if he was a Bronco, he'd be terrible.
Well, at least he'd be Daniel Hackett. He would at least go with him.
Yo, Russell Wilson.
Hackett, bro. There's no way.
Oh, Nathaniel Hackett was the secret sauce. Who knew?
God.
Who knew? Huh? How about that?
You know what? Screw the Packers. That's not a real team.
To be fair, there's more weapons in Denver for him. There's more weapons for him. Sutton and Judy.
Okay, and then what?
By the way, Sutton.
I think you have more weapons in Green Bay, to be quite honest with you.
In the running backs, yeah.
Running backs, you also have Alan Lazard, Romeo Dobbs, who's just not being used correctly right now.
Yeah, you're not using You're not doing anything correctly right now.
What is this team, Josh?
They are a very talented team that should be the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. That is just being stupid and getting in their way.
And who's the issue? Tell me, Josh. Tell me who's the issue.
Matt LaFleur.
Who did you draft this year? Was it
Christian Watson?
Christian Watson. Where is he?
Injured.
He's injured.
Yeah, he's playing a little Kadarius Toney right now.
Like, I always play Madden, and I look at the bottom ticker, and he's always, like, getting, like, 100 yards. I'm like, Christian Watson, like... I mean, I understand this in Madden,
You know what it is, though? Christian Watson is very much like Deebo Samuel.
Facts.
That's how I see him.
I agree with that.
But he's not playing. When he comes back from injury, he'll be good.
What a weird season, bro.
This is fool's gold.
It is.
I hate this season. This is my least favorite NFL season of all time. That being said, it's been a beautiful day here at WHPC. From Ross Levine, Eric Williams, and Joshua Mahi, I'm your host, Nico Each. Have a beautiful day, my people.